Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Suzanne Knabe-Nicole from Police Science Doctor. Oh, my logo is not showing. There it is. Welcome to your weekly dose of police science snippets. A little bit later today than usual. Usually it's sort of in the afternoon, early evening. Actually, last week, to be fair, it was a whole day late. So, we're getting there. We're getting back on track with the whole thing. Yesterday, I had a fantastic conference on investigative interviewing. It was a rapid fire conference on investigative interviewing that I did. Had a lot of viewers from all over the world. You guys were fantastic, commenting so much, asking each other questions, answering questions, networking. I loved seeing that. Had 4 fantastic speakers on. Professor Ray Bull, a legend. Dr. Patrick Tidmarsh, he spoke about interviewing suspects and victims. Professor Ray Bull spoke about the peace model of interviewing that he was involved in creating. Professor Becky Milne taught us all about the cognitive interview, and Professor Allison gave us top 10 tips on suspect interviewing. Now, if you missed the conference, don't you worry, because you can watch it. I've actually uploaded all the replay of it onto here. I'm just posting this into the chat. Hopefully you can see that. Let me know where you're watching and if you can see this comment. So it should have appeared on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know why it's not appearing on LinkedIn, but it's I'll put it on later. policesciencedoctor.com/RFC rapid fire 2, RFC 2 rapid fire conference 2. So you should be able to see that then. The other thing is, so what I just showed you, that image I just showed you of the actual ebook. So I've transcribed all the training sessions for you and put them together in an ebook, together with the links to the resources that are mentioned by the researchers, links to their websites or their email addresses, whatever they wanted to give as contact details. So you can actually take the learning away with you from the conference. I don't know if you're the kind of person who takes notes, but you've got it all there in writing. So if you want that ebook, you can get that here. This is the link. I'll again post that in the comments. I'll do it on LinkedIn later if it's not showing up on LinkedIn. And that's the full price, the massive price of $11.99. If you're a subscriber, you get access to the cheaper version of $9.99. So if you're an email subscriber, you should have the link for that already. If not, let me know and I'll sort you out. But if you don't want to subscribe to the email list, it's absolutely fine. Of course, you can use this link and you pay $11.99. Let me just shut that window a little bit. We've got a very verbal dog in the neighborhood. Right, okay. So what else have I got to tell you? Yes, another thing that was announced and launched yesterday is Professor Ray Bull has actually created a short course on interviewing suspects. Now, Professor Bull is an absolute legend when it comes to, talking and teaching all over the world. In almost 40 countries, he was invited to speak on suspect interviewing. And now he's created a short course on the topic and is on my Police Science Doctor Academy. So have a look at that. As I say, it's a short course. It's not going to take you days and days and days. It will take you about 2 hours, including knowledge checks. I'm putting the link into the comments here, and it's £75. I think it's about $100. So really, it is just a short course, but it's a very good introduction, a very good overview, very good context, very good background. Actually teaches you what the peace model is, how to apply it, and which techniques work and which techniques don't work when it comes to engaging suspects, when it comes to overcoming initial denials, and all that goodness is in there. So whether you're already a detective, you're an investigator, you're a trainee, you're a student, just somebody who's interested, it doesn't matter. It can refresh, it can brush up, or it can give you a really good insight into the whole topic of suspect interviewing. So do go and have a look at that. Really, really worth your time. Now, the 3 police science snippets. So if you're new to the concept of police science snippets, basically I troll through research on your behalf, and I find and extract bits that I think are actually useful and applicable to police practitioners, because a lot of research in investigative psychology, forensic psychology, criminology, police research, that kind of area is very abstract, or it's a lot about things that police practitioners, you guys on the ground can't actually do much with. So I try to find those bits that are very relevant to you and what you do, And I put them out in these snippets. So I email them to my email list every Tuesday. So if you're not a subscriber yet, you want to get them, go to policesciencedoctor.com and just put your details into the list, into the registration form that either pops up or that's at the bottom of every page. And then you will be a subscriber and you will have a new Police Science Snippets email in your inbox every week, and you can access all the previous ones. So this week is number 33. So I've been doing this for 33 weeks and it's very popular. People really like it. So I'm going to carry on doing it. And then in the evening or in the afternoon, I usually also go live and just talk about what these snippets actually mean and how you might use them. So I'll give a little bit more information on them. So the first science snippet for today is police bias of child sexual abuse victims. Comparing between a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old victim, officers given information on the older victim, the 15-year-old, perceived that complainant as having contributed more to the crime, predicted the case is more likely to be withdrawn, and included more biased questions in their interview planning. Now, that's with everything else being equal, the only variable that was changed was age. So if the victim of child sexual abuse is older, that brings some kind of assumption into the police officer's mind that there's a contributing factor coming from that victim. Very disturbing and very interesting finding. For both age groups, 5-year-old victim and 15-year-old victim, if police were given information implying bad character, those perceptions of that I listed above were also more negative. That's interesting as well because what we call bad character might well be the case, but I think that may well stem from the fact that maybe they have been abused over a number of years, because people who experience sustained, especially as child sexual abuse, they don't feel good in themselves, they don't respect themselves, and a lot of things go wrong. So that bad character may well be the case, but could that be because all the allegations they were making are true? So that's something to bear in mind. The age variable and presence or absence of bad character had no impact on police officers' assessments of the suspect's guilt. So they were just changing them, making assumptions about the victim, not the suspect. So background information can negatively affect investigators' judgment sometimes. So that's, I thought that was quite interesting. And there's the link. So when I email these snippets out, I always link the original research. So I'm not talking about my research. Don't take my word for it. Just go back to the source yourself and have a read. If you can access the whole paper, great. Sometimes you can only access the abstract. This one is actually the full paper that's available. So you will get that. You will have had that in your email this morning. Second police science snippet for today. Police attitudes towards their own mental health. It is estimated that 10 to 35% of public safety personnel will develop PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder, yet only 7% of PTSD sufferers, that's in the general population now, actually seek help. It can take many years for someone to do so. Training on mental health has a positive impact on attitudes about their colleagues as well as community members' mental health. And having had training and or having a diagnosis of a mental health disorder is a predictor of of public safety personnel seeking help. So training or having your own issues, being aware of them, having a diagnosis, or training in the subject makes people a lot more likely to seek help for something. So it can be very much in the organization's interest to educate their staff on mental health issues, because they might then be more likely to look after themselves better. And the last snippet for today is children's reporting. So it can be difficult to get children to report transgressions against them. Obviously, they've got very conflicting views and emotions in their head, especially if the person who was transgressing against them is a loved one. But giving interviewers instructions on a range of interviewing strategies, it was found that using certain cognitive instructions led children to produce longer testimonies with more transgression details, disclosures, and events. So especially if recall and reverse order instructions elicited more relevant information. So there are specific ways in which you can interview children that will help them reveal more of the crimes that have been committed against them and reveal more detail relating to those crimes. So these were the 3 science snippets for today. I hope you found these interesting. Hopefully you can employ them somehow in your work. If you can, please let me know. And I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next week. And if you watched the conference yesterday, thank you very much. If you're signing up to the course, thank you very much. If you're getting the ebook, thank you very much. If you're just watching me every week or getting my emails, thank you very much for that as well. Adieu.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.